We are so ready.
We're so ready, så klar, så må I gerne thumbs up. Hej alle sammen.
Har du muted, Carla? Yes, fantastisk. Jamen, så vil jeg egentlig bare sige rigtig hjertelig velkommen til Sino Danmark. Vi har glædet os helt vildt meget også her i det her panel, som har brugt tid på at få det her op at stå. Og en af grundene til, at vi har smidt det her over på Zoom og ikke inde i København, det er selvfølgelig fordi, at vi ikke kunne samles alle sammen. Men nu giver det pludselig også mening at lave den her træning på et dybere plan med Big Al, fordi han har brugt hele sit liv, og nu også hans søn i flere år, på at finde ud af, hvordan kan vi egentlig kommunikere med hinanden, uden at det nødvendigvis skal blive så det kan være afvisningsfrit, mener jeg. Han har skrevet, jeg ved ikke hvor mange bøger, og jeg er mega stolt af at få lov til at præsentere ham her for os i dag. Han kommer på om ikke så længe, men jeg vil egentlig bare lige starte med at sige en anden ting også, det er, at til sidst, det kommer til at vare cirka 30 minutter med Big Al, så får vi også lov til at møde hans søn Keith, som også kommer til at have 30 minutter. Når vi nu slutter af til sidst efter den her lille times tid, jamen så vil det være sådan, at det vil være muligt at stille nogle spørgsmål. De spørgsmål skal du stille ud i chatten, hvis du har et spørgsmål. Så vil det være sådan, at vi er selvfølgelig rigtig, rigtig mange på det her kald, så det er ikke alle spørgsmål, som vi kan tage, men der vil blive sorteret lidt i dem undervejs, og så vil Rasmus Nielsen, som i virkeligheden også er ham, der har sørget for at få i første omgang Big Al til at komme til København, og nu også, og det synes jeg lige, vi godt kan give en lille hånd for, nu også på Zoom-kaldet her, og fået det til at kunne lade sig gøre. Så med de ord, så vil jeg bare sige, at vi er i allerbedste hænder lige nu. Vi skal arbejde rigtig meget på Zoom her den næste tid, og der er rigtig, rigtig mange gode værktøjer i det, vi skal lære her i dag. Og jeg er sikker på, at det kommer til at give sin egen helt klare mening. So now I'll just start in English to present the speakers today. And I'm so happy to introduce Tom Big Al Schreiter and his son. So Tom, we have been looking so much forward to see you here on the Zoom, and I have just present you all the guys here. So I look forward to hear your wise words.
Okay, I hope it's nice and clear in Denmark.
It is.
Good. So tonight, let's talk about closing, because there's a big fear of all of us about closing. We even hate to approach people because we say, well, if it works out, I'm going to have to close. Yeah. And if I close, well, will I high pressure them? Will I make them feel bad? Will they give me rejection? What can I say? So let's start with the first one here tonight, and we'll just learn two easy ones that do multiple things. Not only does it close, but it takes away all their stress. And it's also a good way to start off a conversation if somebody starts off with their arms folded and leaning back and being weird. So for all the shy people here on the call tonight, congratulations. We got it made. It's the talkers. They have a long way to go in this business. And in case you're asking why, is we can learn how to say cool things to people, but if we listen to them first, they'll tell us exactly what to say, and it makes us look way smarter than we are. So anyway, here's the first close. And it goes like this. James Muir made this famous. He says, does it make sense? Now, if you are a green personality, we're very logical, analytical people. When you say, does it make sense? We are already all in. We're high-fiving saying, man, this is exciting. So if you ask somebody at the end, does it make sense to, and then tell them what you want them to do. So let's just give an example. Does it make sense to put out the inflammation fire inside your body? Or does it make sense to get your body in balance? Or does it make sense to stay healthier and live longer? Or does it make sense to have an extra paycheck once a month? Or does it make sense? So right now, just think creatively. You have lots of benefits. So just fill in the blanks. Does it make sense? comma, and then we're going to add 2 words, instead of. Now, when we say instead of, this is a really cool phrase in English. In Danish, I'm not really sure. But in English, when you say instead of, that means they're already doing something. Now, if they're already doing something, that's got to be familiar with them, comfortable. So we're just telling you you're already doing something. So let's just give an example. You're already putting butter on your toast. You can, you might as well, add something to it. It's just really relaxing for people. So let's see how this sounds now. Does it make sense to put out the inflammation fire in your body instead of letting it burn? And you're going, I have just been forced to make a decision here. I can't really say I need to think it over, because if I say I need to think it over, I'm just letting the fire run the whole time. So I'll put it here in the comments, and everybody can cut and paste it if you want. But it's a great way to start for people. You say, does it make sense to have a second paycheck every month instead of trying to get by on one paycheck? Or does it make sense to get your body in balance so we're not killing ourselves? Or does it make sense to take care of our bodies so we can use up all our grandchildren's inheritance? Or does it make sense to have a business where you can work out of your home instead of commuting to work? And most people are going to say, yeah, it just makes sense. Now, if they want to say no, you say, but I'm still taking a risk. And I don't like taking a risk. I don't like somebody surprising me. So if they say no, well, then we'll just say, okay, what do you think is a good next step? Okay, what do you think is a good next step? And now they have to volunteer. Says, well, a good next step would be maybe I should try to put out the fire inside my body. Or good next step, maybe I should come to an opportunity meeting and check it out with you. That's a nice next step. Nobody's stressed. They feel great. And we pushed it forward. So this particular close pushes things forward. So if you can imagine a string like this, and you like this, and you say, okay, here I am, and I want to push it all the way over to the end of the string here, where they're going to make up their mind yes or no. So when you say doesn't make sense, it just pushes it that direction. Pretty simple. So here's my question. Do you think you could type in the chat box or comments here? It's just one version. I'm not an expert on your product, but what could you type in that you think would be something that you could teach a brand new person to say right away? So they say, when you talk to your creepy uncle who's always trying to make you feel bad and saying, we don't do those sort of things, we let our body die quickly. You say, what can you say to close these people so you're not exposing yourself, feeling icky? You might say, well, does it make sense to have an extra income so you can retire, early instead of, I don't know, waiting all the way till you're age 60 or 65? Or does it make sense to balance your body so you can live longer instead of dying early? Or you can add a little bit of humor to it. Does it make sense to protect your heart now instead of allowing the first symptom of heart disease to be instant death? Yeah, I don't think I'd bring that up to a total stranger, but maybe to your creepy uncle, I could say that. So think of what you can say that's within your comfort zone, that's within the allowable claims. But I'm certain that slowing down, internal inflammation, or how about this? Does it make sense to stop the resting inside of your body instead of letting it get older? Does it make sense to take care of your immune system instead of letting something take you out? Here's a good suggestion, totally in Danish. That'll help me a lot. Okay, so if we have that first close, that's all you need to maybe get that new distributor to say, okay, I can talk to people. And they say, well, no, I don't think so. It's too quick for me. And you say, yeah, okay. So what do you think a good next step would be? And I go, well, a good next step would be, well, I should start taking care of my body. So maybe we'll just start with the vitamins or something for now. Okay. How hard was that? Or what do you think a good next step would be? Well, I'm not ready to commit to having good health for 6 months. I only want to have good health 1 month at a time. I'll just try one bottle. Whatever they think. Or you might say, does it make sense to drink 2 bottles your first month instead of waiting a long time to put out the fire inside your body? And you say, okay, that is a pretty good close. What's the second close that we can learn to be totally comfortable? Now, tonight we're only going to talk about little closes. Rasmus is going to schedule, I think, Keith next week or whenever, and he'll do all kind of openings and icebreakers. But this one has double duty, this next one. And you're going to like this one because it puts the prospect completely at ease. Now, when the prospect feels pressured, here's what happens. They come up with all kind of stupid objections that aren't true. And new people end up trying to answer these objections. They don't see what's going on. But we're pros. We know what's going on. When they feel pressured, they say, man, I don't want to hear a sales presentation. I'm afraid you're going to try to sell me something. You'll probably do mental jujitsu and corner me and make me look stupid. And you're going to make me make a choice at the end. And they're all like, all scared. And when people panic, they say, what can I say to stop it all right now? I can't think of anything, so I'll say, it's a pyramid. Or I'm too busy to think. Or I'm not a salesman. Or they come up with just stupid stuff. And what they're trying to do is prevent us from being one of these sleazy, high-pressure salesmen that force them in a corner. So what we're going to do in this close is, at the end of the presentation, we're going to force them to make a choice again, but we also could use this at the very beginning of our conversation. So here it is. And so you don't have to do anything. So, you don't have to do anything. Now, as you're writing that down, think about this. How are they going to feel about that? They're going to say, exhale, this was great. I don't have to do anything. I don't even have to think of a stupid excuse to embarrass you or say, I read on television that good health is bad for you. Or, they get desperate. So you don't have to do anything, and things will remain the same. I just typed it in the chat on the side so you can cut and paste it if you want. You don't have to do anything and things will remain the same. Or if you're ready to change now, let's get started. So let's go through these words. So you don't have to do anything and things will remain the same. Now, they take a big exhale. I'm okay with this. That sounds great. I'm relaxed. But what they don't realize is we set them up for a choice. We already told them the first choice. You have a choice of not doing anything and things remain the same. So if you were to say, I need to think it over, well, things are remaining the same. That's the same choice. So what we've done is say, if you don't do anything, you'll end up keeping your miserable life just the way it is. Waking up in the morning feeling tired, every cold that comes through the city you get, everything's starting to creak. You wake up in the morning and you just think, man, growing old really hurts. So we say it's okay. You don't have to do anything and things will remain the same. Your life's going to be perfectly right. Or if you're ready to change now, let's get started. And now they have a choice. They say, well, if I don't do anything, things remain the same. I'll get one paycheck every month. Or if I'm ready to change now, let's get started and I get a second paycheck. There's no I need to think it over. I need to think it over is I'll just remain the same. Now, why I like this particular close is for those creepy uncles of people that intimidate us. Or you're on the phone because somebody calls you, well, I don't know, I don't have time to talk right now. What's this all about? And you say, relax. You don't have to do anything and things will remain the same. Or if you would like to know how to have one more paycheck a month, we can talk. So you don't have to do anything and things will remain the same. Or if you just like to know how to get an extra paycheck every month, we can talk for a few minutes. Oh, their stress went away just like that. Or what are you trying to sell me? Hey, relax. You don't have to do anything and your body will continue rusting out and getting old. Or if you'd like an alternative, well, we could talk for a couple of minutes. Now, when they say, well, we can talk a couple of minutes, we have already closed them before we've even said anything about our product or health. They've already made a choice before we started, and now they're listening to us like, tell me more. So let's try another one. So you don't have to do anything. And ask yourself, what can I put in here? What can I say about their current miserable life? Or if you want this benefit, we can chat for 2 minutes. And they'll always say, well, all right, we can chat for 2 minutes. There's no need for us to talk to people that are, I don't know, afraid, because they're not listening to us. They're just looking for excuses that they can use because they know we're going to try to close them or something. Let's just wipe all that out. They can't be thinking about what am I going to say to protect myself and listening to us at the same time. They can't do two thoughts. People can only do one thought at a time. So let's get rid of that thought about all that fear so they focus on the good things that we say. So you don't have to do anything and your heart health will remain the same. Or if you want to start protecting your heart, let's talk for 2 minutes. What do you think they're going to say? Man, I was kind of looking forward to that first heart attack, see if I make it. Or what are they going to say? I just want really bad cholesterol numbers and have to end up dying early. They're never going to say that. So when people push back from us, it's because maybe we cornered them and made them feel bad and that they were powerless. But here we say, full power is yours. You can keep your miserable life, or we can chat about an alternative. So those are the two closes that you can look at and say, which one fits me? I like the one where, so you don't have to do anything and, things will remain the same. Or if you're ready to maybe change now, let's get started. And that's a nice close to use at the end of the presentation. So you say, all right, so the omega-3, omega-6 balance, as you see, if we get that right, we're going to be awesome. And I say, all right, how am I going to close? And so you don't have to do anything, and your body will remain the same as it is right now. Rusting out, having inflammation. Or if you're ready to slow that inflammation down and work on protecting your heart, let's get started now. And so, what other benefits? Well, we do know, I'm not a medical doctor here, but I think omega-3 makes up a whole bunch of your brain. So usually a good icebreaker if you want to start off is, just ask people, do you use your brain often? And so, yeah, I use my brain often. And I said, well, do you think you'll be using it in the future? Yeah. So right away you're in conversation about brain health and omega-3s. But towards the end, when it's ready to close, blah, 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 blah. So you don't have to do anything and your brain will remain the same. Or if you're ready to get smarter and make better choices, let's get you on the product now. So I think every brand new person on your team can learn one or the other. Don't try to teach them both. Find out which one sounds better to them, that they say feels more comfortable for me, and work on that one. Give them a couple options of what they could say. Because it's not the quantity, it's the quality of information that's going to make the difference. As you know, you can go on the internet and read for the rest of your life. There's plenty of quantity of information, but it's the quality of what we can say in a couple of sentences that makes the difference. So I want everybody here to think, you know what? How many people did I lose that could have been in my business because I didn't know what to say to close? How much have I hurt my business so far by not having a nice way to make people feel good when I first started and close them? Or what could have my business have been if I would have known this from day one? Now, none of us can go back to day one, although we all wish we could. But for every new person we start, this is their day one. And if they can start off with something like this, that puts them light years ahead of all those people that say, let me show you slides of this and videos of this and research reports of this. And that's a story for another time, but the brain resists information unless it's made a yes decision first. So for all the talkers out there, here's the deal. People don't want to hear any information about your product or your opportunity unless they've made a yes decision first. Once they make a yes decision, then they will allocate part of their precious mind time to listen to details, but not before. Let me give an example very quickly here. Let's say that at the end of this meeting, Rasmus and I say we're going over to the local ice cream shop and we're going to have ice cream. Who wants to come with us? Boom. Half the people raise their hand, half don't. How long does it take to make a decision on that? Now, we all made that decision before we knew the kilocalories of the ice cream, how far the shop was away, how many flavors they had. The human mind desperately wants to make a decision first before it asks for information. Now, the folks that didn't want to go to the ice cream, they don't even want to know about the different flavors. The folks that do may or may not. So if you kept that picture in your mind that when we talk to people, they want to make a yes or no decision first, and only if the answer is yes will they even allow new information to come into their mind. So please don't give people information first and hope they make a decision later. It's just not how the mind works. So save all that cool stuff until they already decided if they want to put out the fire of inflammation or have an extra paycheck or stop commuting to work. Get that commitment first. If you do, we'll chat. If you don't, keep your life the same. It is perfectly okay. So just ask yourself, because let's take the people that were not on this call here tonight. Ask them, so how much business do you think you lost by not being on this call? Or refusing to learn, or refusing to watch the recording of this call, how many customers do you think you're going to lose or not even get into your team? So it's what we don't know that kills us, but having the knowledge of a 1 or 2 good closes work great. So that's why I like books, because, well, the books only work if we read them, but I like books. But you can learn tons of things, just be selective what you choose to learn. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to you, because you have 2 great closes, totally rejection free. Anybody can use from day one, and their confidence will go way up because they say, wow, I'm never going to feel sleazy talking to people again. So let me turn it back to y'all. And next week, you have your pencil and paper ready, or wherever Rasmus sets it up, and Keith will give you a ton of icebreakers so you can start conversations with lots of people, so you can say this to them and close them like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah. So I think it's time to get Keith on the screen now. So Keith, the time is yours.
He's not on tonight. I thought it was going to be 2, so I told him the wrong stuff. So he says, cool. Okay. I says, they're probably going to have to practice this closing thing first, and then we'll get you to come on the next week or the following week as your guest, and he'll do a whole bunch of icebreakers. So let's take action on this right away. I put in the notes there. There's a free book that'll give you lots of icebreakers to kind of download ahead of time, and there's a couple free audios and a closing report. So there's plenty of us for us to learn. But rather than learning a huge quantity, let's just try this tomorrow. Go mess with somebody.
Yes, exactly.
So, they deserve it.
Yes, exactly.
So back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tom. And Rasmus, has there been any questions for Tom here tonight?
Yeah, there was 2. Tom.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
And by the way, I hope you enjoy where you are. You didn't mention to people where you are sitting right now and transmitting. It's like warm and comfy,
humid,
and nice.
Yeah.
It's just like in Denmark.
It's like southern Denmark. Yeah. It's about 30 degrees here in Thailand. So.
Yeah, you were stuck in Thailand. Yeah,
that's hard.
So, but thank you for going online and talking to us. Well, there was 2 questions. Do you recommend people to join everything, join this call, as you mentioned a little bit in your speech before, and going to events, going to BPs, business presentations, and do you recommend that? And why do you think it's important?
Well, just ask yourself one question, because you're going to make a decision every day. Should I read this book? Should I go to this meeting? Should I go to the event? And there's just one little question you have to ask yourself. What opportunities am I losing by not being on this call? Yeah. So I'm losing the opportunity of closing some hard prospects that would have made me a lot of money, and I'm losing the opportunity for extra $500 a month or $5,000 a month. Or what opportunity am I missing and losing by not going to the convention? Well, maybe at the convention, you'll get one good idea that turns you from part-time into full-time. Or what opportunity am I missing by not attending Rasmus's Saturday morning special training? Well, I might meet the one person there that I relate with and get brand new confidence, and he'll tell me how I can talk to people I never thought I could talk to before. So just ask yourself, what are we losing by not doing this? And it's a horrible feeling when you go to bed at night thinking, look at my business now. If I would have just been on that call with Rasmus, maybe it would have turned around and I wouldn't feel so depressed. And yeah, so just ask yourself that all the time. Every time I see a book that says, well, that'd be pretty interesting, then I ask myself, well, what opportunity am I missing that I'll never have because I refuse to read the book? So I know everybody here does probably some sort of personal development, and you have an app, and you see stuff on the internet, and you have people that are great speakers at your events. Just keep asking yourself that, and we'll always stay motivated to learn more and to take advantage. Because if not, we're making a decision to just keep the life the same. And hey, we all want a better life. So, what's the next question?
Okay.
From these?
Yeah, and then there was another one. It was about culture, building culture. When you have like Denmark, we have islands and we have Jutland. How do we make how do we build a good culture about teamwork? So all the teams work together in a much better way, or yeah.
Okay. I could just give you one case study. You know how hard sometimes it is to get people to come to meetings. So I was living in Chicago. I was early in my business. I didn't have much money. So I said, well, how do I do a contest or something that I could afford? So here's what I said to people. I said, everybody in the team here, we're going to have a banquet. They go, ooh, banquet. Now this is like 1972, 73. And so we're going to have a banquet once a month. And to qualify for the banquet, all you have to do is sponsor one person this month. And whoever sponsors one person, you're allowed to come to the banquet. Well, everybody paid for their own meal because I couldn't afford it. And the first banquet we had was at a Mexican restaurant called Mi Casa Su Casa. I had 14 people there, which is local that I had in Chicago. And the banquet was this. We all came, we ate together. I said, man, you're going to have to eat anyway, and you probably eat out once a month. Why not eat with friends? So sponsor one person, and you're allowed to come. So they came and said, man, this is great. We should do it next month. Well, we said, okay, so next month we'll make it so you could come. And if you sponsored a new person, they could come the first month because you sponsored them. And it might even be nice if you bought their dinner because you sponsored them and helped them out, or they can buy it, or you'd buy their dinner if they set up 3 appointments or something like that. Well, next one we had like 21. After a few months, we started going to a Chinese restaurant because they had big banquet rooms for weddings and stuff. There's a place called Chinatown in Chicago. And they had these big round tables. And in the middle of the round table was the Lazy Susan, this round thing that you put the food on, you curl it around. And these are the days before there was things like buffets. And they say, wow, so you could kind of choose what you want from the dishes on the table. They're very impressed. But I remember one night, and we got up to 100 pretty quickly. So 100 people would come once a month and eat with their friends. And of course, what happened is they got believed. They said, well, when I'm at home, nobody believes me. But here, everybody believes me. It's so much easier to believe in the business when you're surrounded by people who believe. And we say, no, now we're going to turn it into a training meeting as for our social life. So when they came, they'd bring their spouse. And the spouse would say, well, these people aren't so weird. They seem pretty normal. We did usually have 10 or 15 minutes of meetings, which is basically an announcement. We said, here's a couple of quick announcements. This is being shipped, and we have a trophy. And the trophy is for the person who sponsored the most new people this month. And we're going to give it to Carla. And So Carla comes up and takes the trophy. Now, it was a traveling trophy because I didn't have enough money for a trophy, which means you only got to keep it that month. So I got an old bowling, trophy, cut off the bowling ball. It was not that hard. And then they got the trophy. So Carla would take that trophy home, and she'd say, wow, it's really great. It's out in the fireplace. People come over. She'd put her elbow in the fireplace. And, yeah. Oh, yeah, that trophy behind me. Yeah, when I'm number one in Denmark, yeah. Until around the 26th or 27th of the month, she realized she had to give it back. And since Carla's red, she said, there's no way I'm giving that thing back. I'm going to make sure I'm number one this month. Well, there's a bunch of other red personalities in the group. This is the month Carla's going down, So all of a sudden, we had this great competition over this one cheap, 100 kroner used trophy I got at a garage sale. And I said, well, that was pretty good. I'll invest another 100 kroner on a used trophy for the top retailer who got the most customers. So it became really kind of a challenge, and people really fought for that stupid trophy every month. So it got up to about 100 people, and after that, we started having to spinning it out to, in your case, different islands and stuff, because it just got too big to find a restaurant. But people loved it. One night in Chicago, it was snowing. Now in Chicago, it snows on occasion. They have snow equipment removal, but it snowed something like centimeters, 30 centimeters in about 3 hours. So it started like 3 in the afternoon, boom, just all came down, and it got dark, miserable, deep snow. We had about 100% attendance. People would fight through snow that could never make it to an opportunity meeting because, well, something was on television. But it bonded the group. It became part of their social life once a month. People love eating. And I don't know, in Denmark, do people eat out at least once a month? I think so. So why not eat out with your friends? So that's how we built the community, with the cross lines and stuff. And you say, well, how'd you make sure people sponsored somebody? What if they cheated? Well, we didn't care. They came to a meeting. Are you upset about that? They paid for their own meal. So we just took people's word, on how many they sponsored, or how many customers they had, or if they sponsored anybody at all. But there was also some other things that made the community fun. More people would come all the time because in those cases, the wife would say to the husband, hey, it's the 30th of the month, we have the banquet on the 4th, and I just bought this new dress. They're going to love the dress. All my friends are going to chat about it. And how many people did we sponsor this month? And the husband said, none. And the wife would turn to him and say, don't come home until you do. We're going. I already invested in the dress. So it was a fun way to bond the group. So if you want community, it's a level 6 communication. If you read the book Fast Start Guide, the highest level of communication and bonding is meeting people in person over food. It's the best thing for keeping people active. And people can come and nobody's picking on them, because it's only 15 minutes to give away 2 trophies, and maybe somebody stands up and Kenneth says, I'm challenging Carla to see which one of us can get the most customers on our team this month. A little bit of fun. And then they just chatted away for 3 months or about that one particular event. Maybe the meeting was 10 minutes, and then for 3 hours, people just socialized, talked, and had the greatest time in the world, and they looked forward to it every month. Forget the meetings. The socializing was awesome. And of course, people there are hearing the brand new testimonies of new people at the table. Yeah, I had this person here, their cholesterol went down so many points, and they started telling their friends. So that's how I enjoyed building community, because I like to eat. So that's a long answer to a short question. Sorry about that, Rasmus.
No, it was great. It was what the people was asking for. Do we have time for one more, Tom? Last one?
Sure, yeah. I have all the time in the world.
Yeah. Well, the last 12 years, when I've been in the industry, I've been listening to a lot of your great stuff. one question that came to my mind, that's also in the chat from some of the people in the team, is that how do we help our downline to understand that, for example, what you teach us, that's not evil manipulation, but that we actually help people?
Well, it is manipulation.
Yeah, but not evil.
And manipulation can be used for good or evil. Here's the deal. We manipulate people always, 100% of the time. They're going to react to our facial expressions. If we look bored, we're manipulating how they feel about us. We look happy, they're going to pick up those vibes. We look sad, they're going to start feeling bad. So as long as we're going to manipulate people, which means they are going to react to us, why not make the reactions positive instead of negative? People will always react to us. From the moment we walk in the room, they look at our face, and they're going to start judging right away. Why are you wearing a hockey mask and carrying an axe? Is my life in danger? You know, they just prejudge us and prejudge us harshly. So if they're going to prejudge us, here's what we are manipulating. We're going to manipulate away their sales filter, their too good to be true program, the what's the catch, be careful. We're going to manipulate away all that baggage. Deliver a good message inside their head. And then it's up to them. They can choose if our message serves them or not. So unless we manipulate away all their fear and crummy past experiences and their baggage, and unless we manipulate all that away, our message won't even come inside their head. It'll go right up their forehead and bounce off their forehead and tinkle to the floor. Now, that is effectively withholding what we have. And you think about that. Unless I manipulate away all that negativity and that prejudgment and that skepticism, unless I manipulate that away, I'm effectively withholding good health from this person, or a chance for them to choose good health. Effectively withholding a chance for them to maybe have more money and retire earlier, or better holidays, or somebody to pay for their holidays. I'm withholding that. And I think that's probably the most evil thing we can do, is withhold our message from people. Now, it would be manipulation if we're trying to get them to say yes, but we don't have to do that. We have a good message. All our goal should be is to remove all that fear and garbage from their mind. Say, hear this message. I've gifted this message to you. You have an option to say, does this serve me right now in my life or not? I mean, I'm done. My obligation is to get it inside your head. I don't know what happened to you 15 minutes before I met you. You're in charge of your own decisions in life. I'm not going to be responsible for you. It's hard enough to be responsible for myself. But we do have to manipulate away all that fear, that negativity, and stuff that people put up as protection, because there's a lot of sleazy people out there. But if you just look at it saying, I have a message, I want to get it inside their head so it doesn't bounce off their forehead. And then they can decide if that message will serve them or not today. That's it. And boy, that takes away the pressure from us, takes away the pressure from them. We're done. So yeah, there's evil manipulation, but there's also good manipulation, which is exactly what we do. So what else do we have for questions?
Well, there's one here. I don't know if it's seriously or not, but Big Al. Where does the name come from? Big Al.
50 years of, it's when you have really close friends that do mean practical jokes that are really embarrassing, that stick with you forever. You can't get rid of it. So that's where it came. Yeah, Al Capone days in Chicago. But I've changed careers. How's that? I decided to become an Instagram model instead.
Yeah, good idea. I will follow you then.
I'll have to learn how to use Instagram first, but I have no idea.
Okay. Well, in our chat, you posted when we started, and also a little bit in the chat, you posted a link where people can get a free book.
Yeah, and some audio to listen to while you're, you can listen to the audios in the background while you're watching virus news on television or something.
Yeah. So people that's listening, remember to check the chat because there's a link there where you can download stuff. Some more Big Al's great stuff.
All right, and I see the question in your long career. That's a nice way of saying I'm really old. And with some resistance and bad experiences, how do you persevere and motivate yourself to keep on grinding? Well, all right. In the beginning, there's two strategies here. In the beginning, I didn't know I could quit. When I joined, young, clueless, just out of school, I had no idea how life worked. I thought you signed up and it was that way for life. I never had any downline that quit, so I didn't even know quitting was an option. And you say, how could you be so stupid? And so, well, qualified. So, people would laugh, says, man, this guy is so incompetent. I mean, he's like total loser. And for a year and 10 months, I didn't sponsor anybody or have any customers. That's pretty bad. And they always say, well, we respect your perseverance and your courage to keep going. Well, it wasn't that. I didn't have any of that. I just didn't know you could quit. I just thought you signed up and that was it. And later, I found out about this. How do you motivate yourself so you keep on grinding? Well, maybe we should ask a different question. Why do I want to grind? Why do I want to make this hard where I have to motivate myself? Why not make it easy where I actually enjoyed it every day? So if you're going out there grinding, which is, I see a person over there, how am I going to manipulate that person into buying my stuff? Well, it's going to be a grind. And it's not going to feel good on the inside. So instead, maybe we could kind of change our viewpoint on this. And the viewpoint is this, and I know a lot of you have heard this already, but my viewpoint is all I do is offer people one more option in their life. I gift people with an option after I've manipulated away all their garbage so they hear the option, and I gift them an option. And people love having extra options in their life. Here's an example. You go to an all-you-can-eat buffet and all they have is tofu. We would like extra options. Or we're crossing a burning volcano in a rope bridge. We'd like to have extra options. So all you and I do is give people one more option in their life. We gift that to them and we are done. That's why there's no rejection. That's not a grind. It's like, Keith, who'll talk to you next week or whatever, I'm going to steal one of his. He has this great story about options. He says, always just give people an option. They can take it or not. It's not that big a deal. And if you look at it that way, approaching people is not hard. So imagine Rasmus, you and I are having coffee at a restaurant. The waitress comes and says, you want cream with your coffee? You say, well, sure. And I say, no. You don't see the waitress go back into the kitchen, take the coffee, slam it against the cream against the wall and say, it's a pyramid. I've been rejected. No, it's just an option. So tell the new distributors, when you get started, you just give people an option of living longer. You know, it's up to them if they want it or not. They say, man, dying quickly was kind of like my goal. All right, great. You know, no big deal. Give people an option of putting the fire out in their body so they stop complaining growing old really hurts. Give the people an option of maybe lowering their cholesterol numbers instead of taking drugs to do it. Give people an option of, you can have a part-time business so you have an extra paycheck to make things easier. Give people an option of having dinner once a month with a bunch of cool people. Or that's it. So forget the grind. I think that's a real good opportunity for us to change the question. If it is a grind, we are probably under the mindset of door-to-door salespeople in the 1970s. Here's their mindset. I get somebody, I manipulate my way inside, and I say, shut up and sit down while I talk at you for 45 minutes. And I'm going to tell you about the company and this, hold your questions till the end because I may cover it somewhere in my presentation. And then after that, we do the comp plan, and then I'm going to be closing them, and I'm going to close as hard as I can and force them into it and make them feel awful if they don't do it. And if they don't do it, I'm going to harass them until they buy or die. Well, that's not how the human mind works. And that's really evil. Instead, just look at it. Hey, I have an option. If you want, I'll let you know what it is. Then it's up to you what you want to do with it. Get over it. That's all. So that's not a grind at all. Somebody standing next to you says, man, growing old really hurts. Every morning I wake up, I feel like a truck hit me, and I have pain in my ankles, my hips, my back, my neck, headaches. I have acid reflux. That's a disease now, And, and you say, well, would you like to do something about it? Well, yeah. All right. I'll give you an option. You start putting out the fire with getting your omegas balanced. See what happens. Or guess what? You can keep your life exactly like it is right now. So you don't have to do anything, and things will remain the same. Or if you're ready to stop that rusting out from the inside and that inflammation in your body, let's get started on this now. And they have the option of saying, absolutely not. I want to suffer. My grandfather suffered. My father suffered. I want to suffer just like them. Fine. Just an option. They say, well, how about some ice cream? Oh, no, I can't do that. Everything hurts. All right, I'll eat without you. It's okay. You give them the option.
Okay. Thank you, Tom.
All right. No more questions? Good. So I'll let you plan. Just let me or Keith know, and he'll come on and do a whole bunch of icebreakers. But for now, we have 2 different closes. You don't have to use them both. Pick the one you like. They're totally safe. You'll manipulate away all that negativity in their minds, and you can just deliver your message, step back, and they can choose whatever other option is going to serve them or not. But we got to use it. Don't have notes. Try it tomorrow. Manipulate somebody. So, you can say to your children, so you don't have to eat your vegetables and things will remain the same. Or if you're ready to start eating your vegetables now, you might even get ice cream for dessert. Simple as that. Practice. Thanks for inviting me, Resses.
Thank you, and thank you from the whole of Cincinnati, Denmark. Carla, will you round this up with something about tomorrow? And Tom, take care in Thailand.
Okay. I will.
And stay away from the Mexican beer. I've heard you get something out of them.
Yeah, I'll have to investigate that and try it personally so I have the experience.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Big Al, han får mig bare til at grine helt vildt altid. Jeg synes, det er altid så hyggeligt at have ham på. Og han har sådan en nem måde at sige tingene på. Er det ikke det, du oplever, også Rasmus? Det er så nemt for ham, er det ikke?
Jo, men han siger det på en måde, hvor at man kan omsætte det til helt almindelig hverdagssprog, og så kan man gå ud og gøre det lige efter. Og han var en af de første steder, jeg hørte, da jeg kom ind i industrien her for 12 år siden jo. Og så sidde med ham nu og kunne chatte lidt, altså det er lidt vildt, fordi han er jo den her person, man bare kan snakke med helt ned på jorden, og så når han endelig kommer med noget, så det kunne være, at man kan gå direkte ud af døren, og så begynde at lave manipulation, eller ja, på den gode måde selvfølgelig.
Ja, altså, det er rigtigt, at det kan være på den gode og dårlige måde, men den her, det er virkelig en god måde, og så skal vi bare ud og bruge den nu. Så det handler om at få booket nogle møder og komme i gang, og snakke med folk, og i den her tid, så vil folk gerne lige høre noget om det, så kan vi bruge Big Al's metoder til at lukke folk. Det synes jeg var fantastisk, så tak fordi I har arrangeret det. Rasmus, det var fantastisk, og Kenneth også for at I vil gøre det. Og jeg vil bare lukke af med at minde folk om, at i morgen, det er klokken 20, at vi laver en forretningspræsentation. Nu når det ikke er forretningspræsentationen, hvor vi kan mødes og tage folk til, nu kan vi alle sammen invitere folk på en forretningspræsentation, hvor der bliver gennemgang af produkter og forretning af vores stifter selv. Så nu skal vi have vores One-Star Global President, Ørjan Sæler på i morgen, og vi starter klokken 20, så man skal bare finde den link og komme på, og det er i Sensino Danmark, så du skal bare tage linket, men igen, det er ikke bare for at sende ud og sådan noget, følge systemet med at booke mødet, når man vil have taget folk til en forretningspræsentation, så brug det ind i morgen på at give folk måske deres first look, og de kan få en kort præsentation, og så kan de se lidt mere og gå mere i dybden med Ørjan. Så send ud til alle venner og bekendte, som man har, hvem man holder nær, for det er nu, det er perfekt timing til det. Så jeg glæder mig til i morgen klokken 20. Yes. Er der nogle sidste ord, Kenneth eller Rasmus?
Nej, bare sørg for, at jeg får booket nogle møder nu for folk til at kigge med og så videre, fordi tiden er virkelig den helt rigtige nu. Altså i vores team, det vælter ind med kunder, fordi alle er vildt meget pudsigt nok opmærksom på, at deres immunforsvar, jamen det er altså mega vigtigt, at det bare spiller. Og der er verden altså lige for vores fødder nu, så det er opportunities now.
Præcis. Og så har jeg også lige lyst til at nævne, at i forhold til det her med manipulation og så videre, så har jeg i hvert fald været utrolig bange for at bruge hans teknikker indtil for ganske få måneder siden, efter vi var på Mastermind Event, hvor jeg igen fik den præsenteret og tænkte, nu er du simpelthen nødt til at gå ud og gøre det, selvom det ligesom klodser ud af munden først. Jeg vil bare sige, det stopper, venner. Det virker, det han siger, og man får lukket, og man får hjulpet folk, og de er evigt taknemmelige bagefter. Så lad være med at være bange for at bruge hans ord. Gå ud og bruge dem, og de er måske lidt klodset i starten, fordi du aldrig har sagt sådan før, men du opdager, at folk tager rigtig godt imod det, du siger. Så jeg vil også støtte op omkring både, hvad Rasmus og Carla siger her. Gå ud og brug det nu. Der har ikke været noget bedre tidspunkt. Så tak for mig, tak til Carla, tak til Rasmus, og tak til jer alle sammen, for at I deltog her i aften.
Vi var over 2
tak for aften.
Så fantastisk. Vi er gode, som Sensino Danmark.
Yes!
Hej alle sammen.
God aften alle sammen.
Hej.
Hej.
Hej.